Alright lads, so tomorrow morning we are going to be getting the return of 1000-year Blood War, Ubar, Ichigo, and also Orihime. Easily some of the best characters in the entire game, sought after characters too, and we're going to ask the question, is this banner worth summoning? Now, of course, with that said, one special thing about this particular banner is that it does come with a pity system, right? That is quite noteworthy. If you do decide to go all the way to step 25, which is quite the investment, costing you 5,500 orbs, it is going to let you pick either Ichigo, Yuha, or Orihime, and trust me, sometimes it is a lifesaver. I mean, if you were here when I summoned in this banner the very first time, I did 50 multis and didn't get a single Yuha, and if it weren't for these tickets, I wouldn't even own the character. So if you are someone that is willing to go very deep into this banner, it is nice knowing that you are guaranteed the character of your choice or a duplicate of the character you want on step 25. Now, with that said, the banner itself will be available tomorrow morning, lasting all the way to the 23rd of August. Now, I want to mention right from the get-go, if you are interested in someone in this banner, I would wait until you see what mid-month is going to be. Now, there is a very good chance that we are going to either get a very high mid-month banner, and I know it's mid-month, but what we did end up seeing a month prior to the 9th anniversary starting was a Mugetsu, one of the best characters in the entire game. There is a pretty decent chance they might do the same with Full Hollow Ichigo, and we're also still waiting for part 2 of the 9th anniversary and 1000-year Blood War campaign, which very much could start for mid-month, therefore meaning mid-month is going to be 1000-year Blood War. So I know it's a mid-month banner, most of the time we do skip it, but this month in particular has a decent chance of being something exciting, more so than a usual mid-month. I personally think it's going to be either Full Hollow Ichigo or a 1000-year Blood War banner, and if you are interested in any of those two things, well, it doesn't hurt to wait. The banner itself will be getting announced on the 16th, so this upcoming Friday. In fact, the banner will be out while this banner is out too, so honestly, there's no harm in waiting to see what mid-month is going to be first and foremost. With that said though, this is the overall banner. Fillers themselves definitely could be better, but at the very least we do have a 1000-year Blood War Isen featured here, who honestly is still a very good character. So breaking down the extra characters themselves, first up we have 1000-year Blood War True Shikai Ichigo. Easily one of the best hard characters in the entire game, and if you were a fan of True Shikai Ichigo, especially with his royal armor, this is almost going to be a must-have character for you. A hard swiper with the swiper and stun to kill ability overall adds to his usability, especially in Guild Quest content. More specifically though, the merely stun to Guild Quest, where he is right now one of the best leads for that respective Guild Quest phase. If you did recently pull the new 1000-year Blood War Hollow Bankai Toshiro, that character will make a very good support for someone like Ichigo, allowing him to do more damage on top of the fact that he's already doing a great amount of damage, thanks to Toshiro's 40% more damage to status-affected enemies, which he does give to any hard swiper, of course including this Ichigo. In terms of damage output, he almost has everything you want. Frenzy +2, an 80% SP boost upon inflicting his talisman, and in this case he does have an increased chance to inflict weakening and lacerate, a very powerful combination by the way, to any swiper and also Quincy enemy. And then upon inflicting a talisman, you will then be doing 100% more damage, technically 150% more damage to status affected enemies. That comes from the fact that he does have a 60% damage increase to lacerated enemies, a 40% damage increase to weakened enemies, and remember, weakening itself already does give you 50% more damage. To wrap that up too, we have some extra utility effects, complete status immunity, hit an enemy, and then through his innate skills, he does have Sprinter +2, Long Stride, and also Poise, and the Poise skill itself is actually very useful in this character given the character's strong attack kit. His SA1 being a beam forward, his SA2 being a lunge forward, and then his SA3 being a 2-stage charge strong attack, a Getsugo Jujitsu attack in particular, which looks very, very cool, very satisfying honing it down, which allows you to do a lot of damage. So yeah, in conclusion, this character basically has everything you want. Fun gameplay, great strong attacks, great visuals. It's Ichigo using Getsugo Jujitsu. He has a lot of usability, and yeah, easily one of the better hard characters in the entire game. Our second character is going to be the Brave Battle Queen. As of right now, the best Brave Battle unit, and in this case, we have 1000-year Blood War Orihime, a technique human with the Captain Kill ability. Our most recent addition in the Brave Battle meta is a Captain character, allowing Orihime to be even better. But what makes Orihime the best Brave Battle unit right now is that she doesn't have any hard counters. Despite us getting 2 new Brave Battle characters released after this Orihime, none of them have been designed to outright cancel this unit, therefore making her one of the more sought after units in the entire meta. And there's many reasons for that. For starters, she has Fly +2, and for the first 10 seconds in Brave battles, she does have Fly +3. Under half stamina, she decreases damage taken by 50%, gets an additional 50% normal attack damage, she prevents last to survival, she's invincible for the first 10 seconds, she can ignore invincibility, and of course the most important skill is the persistence, so when she does end up dying, she will be invincible for 5 more seconds. And given that she is a ranged character with a debuff barrier SA2, that's ultimately what makes her the best character right now, especially in a meta where a lot of teams are using Sergeant. Sergeant cancels out the buffs and debuffs from any heart and mind character, so right now realistically the only way to actually debuff your opponent to give your team a stat advantage is actually by using Orihime. She's also a human with Captain Killer, so she's doing more damage to a lot of relevant characters in this meta, and right now, realistically, no one is doing more damage to her. The only real threat in Brave battles for Orihime is a power unit, that being Shad, but Shad is really just more so there to tank Orihime, and that might require a few extra dupes in him. So ultimately, the main reason why Orihime is still the best Brave battle unit is no one's really come out designed to counter against her. And because of that, she's been able to stand as the team MVP, and I would definitely say that most of my wins come from the fact that this character is in my team. And then lastly, we have the Quincy King himself, 1000-year Blood War Ubar. In this case, a mind no affiliation character with the hollow and also no affiliation kill ability, two very good killers. And this character itself comes with a unique set of skills that really make him stand out as the Quincy King. For starters, he has an enemies defeated bonus where he gets 4 new additions to the character's kit. After 20 enemies defeated, he'll get 20% more melee damage. After 40 enemies defeated, he will get a 40% berserker. After 60 enemies defeated, he will then get a 60% devastation. That, by the way, increases his damage on his soul bomb. And then after 80 enemies defeated, he will then get a second soul bomb. As of right now, still the only character in the game to have this ability. And this makes him very good in limit breaker content, makes him very fast in cop content or any quest which has more than 80 enemies. He's able to clear content super fast. And there's many thanks to additional soul bomb, but of course the strong attack kit is also great too. Now when it comes to guild quest content, where this character also does excel in, he's not able to get the extra 60% devastation or the extra soul bomb, but in a future guild quest update, the likelihood of him being able to get these extra buffs is potentially possible. When it comes to his base skill set, he comes with again everything you want. Frenzy +2, a 40% berserker, and when you do inflict a stat element, you do get an 80% spiritual pressure boost. Now he doesn't have an increased chance to inflict stat elements, but that's honestly not that big of a deal, mainly due to the fact that his SA1 and 2 does have a lot of hit counts to it, especially that SA2, which is a homing vortex. This essentially guarantees that he's always going to have his SP boost active and constantly applying weakening, where you're then doing 50% more damage. And then to wrap up the character, he also does have complete stats immunity, so you don't have to worry about any stats on the floor, and he also does have a very powerful skill, Mind Attribute Strong Attack Recharge. When you do go in between stages, you are reducing your cooldown of all your strong attacks by 20%. Very good in limit breaker content, as he is quite a self-sufficient unit, recharging his strong attacks and also giving your entire team an extra soul bomb. I would say this character held the best character title right up until the 9th anniversary, which is understandable because we got some very powerful characters. But as far as mind characters do go, this character is still absolutely insane. Very good strong attack hit, very good visuals too. It's exactly what you want with a playable SP Yuha, which is something that unfortunately until the most recent end of year banner was lacking for like 5+ years, as the first 2 Yuha units were all just Brave Battle characters. This one is deserving of a character that is Yuha Buck, the final villain of Bleach. Very fun skill set, very fun strong attack kit, great visuals to boot, and also very powerful, and in a way still somewhat unique given that extra soul bomb, which is something that you can't get in any other character, at least as of right now. If you don't have him just yet, I definitely think once you do pull him, he might end up being one of your favorite characters, as he was for me. Then let's have a look at the other filler characters. Now again, not really much to talk about with most of these units, but of course we do likely have 1000-year Blood War Isen. Now Isen, to this day, even though he is now officially 2 years old, is still the best normal attack damage unit in the entire game. If you do want to take a step away from SP characters, as that's probably what you always use all the time, and you want to go down the route of using a normal attack damage unit, this is going to be a dream come true character, and it's kind of crazy that they haven't actually made a character better than this. So what makes him actually really, really good? Well, for starters, he has a great normal attack damage string, very fast normal attacks, really good range too, but his damage output is also very high for normal attack damage units. And that's due to the fact that he does have a 60% bruiser, flurry +1, which does seem quite low, but bear with it, because he also does have a team boost SA2, giving his entire team a 33% attack, focus, and defense increase, while also giving himself a 5-hit barrier and a 3-hit barrier for your teammates. When you do inflict a stat ailment, in this case weakening, and keep in mind he does have an increased chance to inflict stat ailments against any speed attribute enemy, he will then get an 80% attack boost. And that itself is great, but then you also have to remember, he also does have a gauge effect. So the more you use his normal attacks, the more you use his strong attacks, and you're encouraged to use it because they have a lot of hits to it, increasing the chance to get the attack boost. Upon activating the gauge, you will then get an additional 100% bruiser, and also reduce the strong attack cooldown of your attacks by 30%. Easily the most perfect normal attack damage unit in the entire game. Very fun too. I don't personally like using normal attack damage characters outside of Gilchrist and Brave battles, but Isen is definitely the exception. He's been very useful in the most recent 9th anniversary Senkamon, can be basically used wherever you want to, even in arena, and of course also does have his usage in the ranged Aranka guild quests, where he can basically solo it by himself. Overall, very strong unit, the peak of normal attack damage characters in this game, and it's also of course even better because it is 1000 Year Blood War Isen, which is the character that we're not going to get for quite some time. After that, let's just quickly go through these because there isn't really much to say. Ichigo is a Mind Swiper with the Holo Kill ability. He is a normal attack damage character with a somewhat low damage output, nothing really to write home about. He is eventually going to receive his resurrection, maybe later this year, where as of right now, the best thing you can hope for is a second good soul trait, as his base soul trait is already 20% damage taken. If he picks up normal attack damage, which is very likely to pick up given that he is a normal attack damage unit, he'll make for a very good link for the current existing Brave Battle units like 1000 Year Blood War Yamamoto, and also most importantly 1000 Year Blood War Sergeant. Ichigo is an outdated Brave Battle unit, not really much going on right now. He has a Spada Killer, which maybe gives him usage in the melee Spada Guild quest, but I wouldn't say so. His whole design was designed to counter a very old Brave Battle unit, that being Confield Noritora, and given Noritora's resurrectable upgrades, he's not really seen that much in Brave Battles, and that therefore does decrease the chance of you even wanting to use this character in Brave battles. Soifon, I will be honest, is unironically a very good character, even to this day, despite her coming out during the 4th anniversary. The main reason for that is because she is a melee Serpent Captain with the Aranka kill ability, so if you are at the very least using it in Aranka only content, since Aranka enemies don't have melee guard, she doesn't need guard break. So you definitely can get a use out of her in that particular content, but more specifically, you want to use her in the melee Aranka guild quest, where upon resurrecting, she does get a good damage increase, she becomes a very good soul trait, and she also becomes one of the best team boosters for that respective week. If you need a team booster for the melee Aranka guild quest, unironically, this Soifon is actually very good to use, and given that she is resurrectable, you potentially can get her max transcended if you pull 3 copies of her. Despite it again being 4 years old, it still has a lot of usability, more specifically, a very good niche in the melee Aranka guild quest. Yamamoto is a speed Serpent Captain with the Holo Kill ability. Unfortunately for him, his damage output isn't really that high. While he does get some good upgrades upon resurrecting, it's not really enough for you to use him over new characters, and his soul trait is good, so for the most part, just an overall good SP soul trait for your better speed characters like, for example, 9th Anniversary Kenpachi. And then lastly, we have 1000 Year Blood War Toshiro, a very cool unit, an iconic character for Bleach Brave Souls, still very fun to this day, but unfortunately his damage output is ultimately lacking. Again, once more, upon resurrecting, he does get a good soul trait, and he overall does get more range thanks to 20% havoc, but his ultimate downfall here is his damage output, as it obviously can't compete with some of the newer characters. He's a nice character to take out every now and then just for a bit of fun. Adult Toshiro is a very cool unit, and likewise, with some other characters like Isen, for example, we're not going to see this character remade until after Core 4 of 1000 Year Blood War, which is basically like a year and a half away. So yeah, overall, I definitely would have preferred if the Philippa was actually a tad bit better. There are quite a lot of old characters here. I would say overall, out of the 9 characters, there's 5 good characters to pull. There are 3, of course, new ones, or returning characters, Ichigo, Orihime, and also Yuha. Isen, of course, is a great pull, and then we also do have Soifon. If you don't have Soifon 5-5, which is always good to get. The other characters, Ichigo, Yamamoto, Toshiro, and also Ichigo are more so just links. It really comes down to if you want to pull on this banner. I would say it's not a bad banner to pull on. Like, if you want these characters, they're good to get right now, especially if you are someone that is dedicated going all the way to step 25. As in this case, you'll get a bunch of discounts, a bunch of guarantees, and more specifically, Step 25 will guarantee a character of your choice. I know many people that did 25 steps the first time this banner came back a few months ago, and they didn't have the advantage of having a pity ticket on Step 25. Maybe it is worth mentioning though, if you have patience to wait, there is a chance these 3 characters, Ichigo, Orihime, and also Yuha, will return on the end of year banner. That is quite the gamble to make, given that it is like 4 or 5 months away, but as we did see with the second part of the 9th anniversary, Yachiru Chojuro and also Yamamoto did return as a first-time filler, and it's very likely the same could happen with these 3 characters on the end-of-year banner, maybe with some more hyped 1000 Year Blood characters. My guess, or more so hope, is someone like Bankai Rukia could be the end-of-year, and Bankai Rukia with an Esnot, maybe a Byakuya alongside these 3 characters would make the banner an absolute banger. But that is like 4 or 5 months away, and it's quite a big gamble to hope that they will become fillers, because that's not guaranteed to happen. So an overall decent banner. These characters are always worth summoning for, in my opinion. They're still some of the best units in the entire game. And right now, again, if you do decide to go deep, you are guaranteed the character of your choice on step 25. Are you going to do that? Maybe some people will. It's definitely worth doing a few steps if you are a new account and don't own any character in the banner, especially if you are also missing Soifon and Isen, as they do make for very good units. Like I mentioned at the start of the video though, my recommendation at most is to maybe wait and see what mid-month is going to be first. Because there is a decent chance there could be a Full Hollow remake, there's a decent chance there could be a 1000 Year Blood character, and if that doesn't happen, well, this banner isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so it wouldn't hurt to wait, because the last thing you want to do is spend all your orbs in this banner right now, and then a potentially really cool and hype, good value banner comes out in the middle of the month. Hypothetically assuming it is Full Hollow, I would love for him to be guaranteed on 10 steps, just like we saw with Mugetsu Ichigo. Either way, hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.